Another car introduced in Huawei's video is the Aito M8. Like the video, and let's start reviewing this fully electric SUV. The EV world is, well, it's packed, right? It feels like a new model drops every other week. So, to really stand out, you've got to bring something special to the table. And today, we're looking at a vehicle that isn't just trying to compete, it's aiming for the throne. This is the Aito M8 Pure EV. So, here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll see why the M8 is already a huge deal. Then, we'll dig into the 4 big claims Aito is making, that it's the king of space, performance, safety, and tech. And finally, the big one. Does the price tag match the crown? Let's get into it.
All right, first things first. Before we even get into the nitty-gritty of this new all-electric model, you have to understand why this vehicle is already such a massive player in the game.
Just look at this number, over 70,000 units delivered in just the first 4 months. That's not just a successful launch, that is a market-shaking debut. It blew past its competitors and basically became the sales champ in its class right out of the gate.
So with all that incredible momentum, Avado rolls out the all-electric version, and they are not playing it cool. They're literally calling it the king of pure EVs. So the big question is, does it actually deserve a title like that?
Let's tackle claim number 1, space. The logic here is pretty simple. If you're building a top-tier family SUV, it better feel absolutely enormous inside. No excuses, no compromises.
And to get that space, they made a really smart design choice. You know how a lot of modern EVs have that sleek, sloped roof for aerodynamics? It looks cool, but it can totally kill your headroom in the back. Aito zigged where others zagged. They stuck with a more traditional, powerful SUV shape, which let them just maximize every last millimeter of room inside.
And here's what that looks like in the real world. Even with 6 people in the car, you've still got almost 400 liters of trunk space. But drop those seats in the 5-seater version, and you're looking at over 1,000 liters. Plus, you get a decent-sized front trunk, a frunk, that's big enough for a carry-on bag. We're talking serious road trip capacity here.
Okay, space is great, we all want more of it. But if you're buying an EV, there are 2 things that really matter: range and charging. This is Aito's second claim to the throne.
The headline number is definitely impressive, 705 kilometers of range. And the secret sauce behind that is its 800-volt architecture. Now, you don't need to be an engineer. All you need to know is that a high-voltage system like this is what makes ridiculously fast charging possible. But, of course, total range is only half the battle. Because, let's be real, what matters on a long drive is how quickly you can get back on the road. And Aito is making what they call the cup of coffee promise. Pull over, plug in, and in just 15 minutes, you can go from 30 to 80%. That's hundreds of kilometers of range added in the time it takes to grab a latte. Now for what might be the most important claim of all for a family vehicle: safety. Aito says this is its 3rd pillar, and it's absolutely non-negotiable. And they are not just saying, hey, it's safe, they're coming with receipts. This is a huge claim from Huawei's executive, Yu Chengdong. The M30 didn't just do well in the 2024 CNCAP safety tests, it got the highest score ever. Think of CNCAP as a bit like the rigorous safety tests you see in Europe or the US.
So, how on earth did they manage that? Well, it's this whole multi-layered approach. You've got next-gen collision avoidance and advanced sensors, including a 4D radar that can literally see through a dust storm. They've also got a super robust battery protection system. And to prove the car's toughness, they took a single vehicle and put it through 5 brutal back-to-back crash tests, and it passed.
All right, we've done space, performance, and safety. Now for the 4th and final crown, technology. And with Huawei providing the brains for this operation, you can bet they went all in to make this car smart, helpful, and honestly, pretty fun.
So let me ask you a kind of weird question. You expect a premium car to be loaded with tech, right? But can a car have a pet?
Well, apparently this one can. It uses these super advanced projector headlights to beam a little electronic pet onto the ground in front of the car. It's quirky, it's unique, and it's one of those little details designed to make kids, and probably a few adults, smile.
But it's not all fun and games. There's some serious tech at work here. You've got an upgraded, intelligent driving system. You've also got this new augmented reality heads-up display that basically projects your navigation and alerts right onto your view of the road. And for the passengers, there are even voice-activated educational games to keep everyone entertained.
So, we've seen the 4 pillars: space, performance, safety, and tech. 4 big claims to the crown.
But it all comes down to this, doesn't it? The price. How much is this kingdom actually going to cost you?
Okay, here are the launch prices in China. The entry-level model, which still gets you that huge 705-kilometer range, starts at just under 360,000 yuan. To put that in perspective, that's about 50,000 US dollars. From there, you can add all-wheel drive and other goodies like the smart doors and those cool projector headlights. For a vehicle this big, with this much tech, that is a very, very competitive price.
And that really brings us to the final question. When you put it all together, the massive space, the long-range fast-charging tech, the record-breaking safety, and that aggressive price tag, is Aito just launching another car? Or is it making a really bold statement about what a premium family EV should be? It's a question the rest of the industry is definitely going to have to answer.
That's it for today's review. If you enjoyed Quick Look into the Aito M8, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't yet, and let me know in the comments. Would you buy this? Thanks for watching, and I see you in the next one.
No answers echo down the hall. Time ticks slower than it should. Stillness speaks louder than it